Contrary to popular belief, DC economy has always been in good standing due to the money being printed in the nation's capital, as well as the federal government, which is in the business of being in business. In the 1980s through the 90s, crack cocaine heavily stimulated DC's economy, as well as destroyed the undesired.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people could get sidetracked by any fucking thing. It don't gotta be the money, it don't gotta be shit. Nigga get a piece of pussy and fuck up his whole train of thought about anything.
But then that thing, we gotta educate our community.
That's it.
Because you know, it's war on our community. They waging war on our community. They when you set a Walmart in our community, the people who are ignorant say that's good. But the Walmart gonna shut down the mom and pop store that's been there 30 years. That we grew up, that we used to go to when we ain't had no money.
We could tell Pops
send us with a note.
We could tell Pops at the dollar store, man, let me owe you $2, Pops. Can't tell Walmart that. You know what I mean? They want all this. You know what I mean?
That can't relate to us.
Yeah.
And then they put these new factories all around here, but they don't hire us. They don't be us working there. They have stores in our community. We've been here 20, 30, 40 years. We go in there, they looking at us suspiciously.
Right now, I just walked up the street, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Trinidad a big ass neighborhood, so we at the top of Trinidad at the other rec center. And this was a little ass rec center, and they knocked it down and made a big ass, you know, a nice rec center. I don't really know the guys up here like that if I ain't go to school with them, but you know, the other thing is, man, you got the people, the new people that come in here who done bought this property, they want to protect their investments. So, you know, they in the little ANC commissioner meetings and everything like that, you know, rallying to figure out how can we get these guys that don't live around here, but they know you from the neighborhood, but they already know you moved on Maryland, so they already in the meetings trying to put policies in play to how to, hey, keep you guys off the corner or this, that, and the third, and they don't understand the dynamic. Like, this how we grew up hanging out, even if you ain't hustling, like, because we know everybody. So, you know, that's just how that was, you know what I'm saying? And it was all good back then. You know what I mean? Like almost like how everybody was outside on do the right thing, you know?
Man, I don't only worry about the money I'm making. I'm gonna just keep that short, you hear me? I ain't got no relation with their money. I gotta worry about what's going on in these facts. That's facts, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I ain't racist or nothing like that, you know, but I deserve that, we all deserve a chance, you feel me? So make things fit for us, kind, you hear me? That's all I'm saying. And y'all know what I'm speaking about. I ain't gotta really say too much.
Presently, during the 2000s, the original plan is being implemented back to the surface, with a rising, diverse population making DC a true mixing pot, as well as attract young professionals to work for the government, gaining disposable income, further stimulating our city's economy.
So you know, we right here, Georgetown right here, and this is the canal and everything. It's a little dried up, or, you know, it's a lot of vegetative growth. I see why, a sign that said, why isn't there any water? Farm boats, let's see. Georgetown restoration. So they trying to restore the canal because, you know, in DC it's a high tide, low tide, so different things is going on. It's a lot of vegetative growth, but like the water has dried up in this canal. But prior to this, you know, when DC was formed, Georgetown was created as a port to export, you know, tobacco and other things, goods that, you know, that slaves, in fact, were producing from the farms here in DC. because, like, you know, as stated previously, DC is definitely rich in agriculture, and that was a purpose of choosing this for the nation's capital. And so Georgetown was always known for the money because of this canal right here. And because of this canal, you know, a lot of money flowed through here, you know, almost like some drugs, like, you know, and it was. United States government style, like, you know what I mean? They run everything. That's why you can't sell Lucy's and things like that, because that's all Fed's money. That's government's money. And so this canal is pretty cool and everything, but as you can see, I mean, and this leads to the Pacific Ocean. So if this is going to the ocean and everything, and it's drying up, that only tells you, well, you know, yeah, DC is built over top of water. It's all swampland. So this canal right here leads to the Pacific Ocean. If we keep going right here, we'll be in Virginia. That, in fact, is like a bridge to go over the, I think that's Keystone Bridge or Key Bridge. So, you know, right over there is VA. And, you know, I'm proud to be from the city. We used to love to go to Georgetown and, you know, and get fresh and get fly, but not really understanding, man, really how significant Georgetown is to you until you get older. Like, you find out that, you know, black people this is one of the first areas this was gentrified, because, you know, blacks had this after slavery. These, you know, that's why it's real tight over here, because this is where we stayed at. And, you know, once they decided to gentrify it, they pushed us out into projects and things like that and started getting us all up throughout the city. But, you know, during slavery, this is one of the original places that black people stayed. And, you know, we were quickly gentrified out of this area. And, you know, even with that, after the slavery was supposedly over, a lot of black people flowed up here from the South, in fact, to look for opportunity. And this is when projects were developed, and that same strategy was followed all over in big cities in America, you know, which projects are really the equivalent of reservations. So, you know, you got to think about what's going on. But, you know, it's always been known for money here. Yeah, we right here up at 21st, and, you know, I went to school around here, so being from Trinidad, we might have to walk through this neighborhood and get into it with some of the guys. I don't see nobody out here to talk to nobody, real. But, you know, the thing I wanted to show about this neighborhood was this is one of the first projects that they built for black people. And, you know, with all the gentrification going on, I think they cannot tear these down because it's historic, being as though it was the first projects. So, I don't know, you know, hopefully some people try to take pride in owning it. But I know there's a lot of people, you know, when they get on their own, whether they live in Maryland or not, you know, they step out on their own, they come into this area 21st, where, you know, it's not really that bad over here, you know what I mean? It is something like a little southeast, but it's still northeast, and it's like, that's a bad little situation to say it's like southeast, because southeast not all bad. It's because of the political situations and the systematic injustices that why southeast is the way it is, you know, lack of resources. But on another issue, you know, 21st is a pretty cool neighborhood, and like I said, I noticed a lot of young professionals have moved over here, and this is before gentrification. Somebody I went to school with who lived in Maryland, she moved out on her own, moved over here. Another buddy of mine, I just know endless. So, you know, I say 21st is like a neighborhood for people who are, you know, getting out on their own and experiencing life for their first time, and, you know, experiencing bills. You know, but growing up back in the day, you know, 21st was known for a lot of different things, you know, a lot of violence and stuff like that, and it was a rival neighborhood against Trinidad, as well as all the other ones. So hopefully this guy don't try to give me a ticket, because I'm out of here.
The real estate in DC, which was once discarded and dilapidated, is now dripping with luxury, making it near impossible for existing residents to remain in their home if they were not properly prepared with an education, or at least gaining knowledge on how one is to not only survive but to thrive in this nation's capital.
The money situation in DC, I feel as though there's always been money in DC. You know, there's pockets of money. I can recall growing up by Dunbar High School, you know, going down to Georgetown at that time. You know, that was the spot to go to Georgetown if you wanted to get something to eat, go shopping, do something like that or whatever. You know, you went to Georgetown, or now you're gonna go to a mall somewhere. But if you want to stay in DC, you went to Georgetown, and you know you go to Georgetown. It's always felt like money in Georgetown. I just feel like with gentrification and things of that nature, that field just like to spread it out through Northwest. You know, you go to U Street, you know, that's just a whole nother situation. Downtown, you know, with the Capitol Center there, Capital One Center, and then that just, you know, pretty much expanded from there. So it's always been money in pockets of DC, specifically Northwest DC. Obviously, the White House is in Northwest DC, but you know, it's two sides to it. You know, I work in Southeast DC, as people say, like across the river, so to speak, where I see a different type of money. You know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, it's still money. It's just on a different level. And, you know, it's just a very interesting dynamic when you look through both worlds, through the lens that I look through as a black man, and be able to see both experiences. It's a very humbling experience because you connect with people that look just like you. At the same time, you interacting in these worlds where people may not look like you, and if they do look like you, that don't necessarily mean y'all vibe on the same terms. And so, being a native Washingtonian, a lot of times you might feel like that, like it's just your aura, it's just your presence. And when you're in certain spaces, people just automatically, you know, they like, oh, it's something, like it's a different type of whatever. It could be respectful, it could be disrespectful, but they definitely, you know, when you in DC and you a DC native and you at establishments, you out and about, your aura is definitely different if you carry yourself a certain type of way. And when I feel with the money in DC, you know, when you interacting in both of those pockets, it's just a different feeling. And, you know, ever since I just can recall in DC, it was always a divide with the communities, with the pockets of money. I grew up in Northwest DC, like I said, but I navigate through Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, all four quadrants of the city. And, you know, with gentrification, different pockets is definitely picking up with the money that's coming in there as a native Washingtonian. It's one of them things where you gotta hustle if you want to stay in DC. Like, it's not like our parents in DC that you know they was able to, you know, maybe do one job or find one government job, whatever the job may be. You know, the rent was respectable. They wanted to buy a house, that was somewhat respectable. But now, you know, it's a different DC. As the topic is money, it's a different money in DC. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to stay in DC, as the previous topic was with politics, you got to stay involved in politics. You know, if you want to live in certain apartment buildings that live a certain type of way, you know, you a DC resident or a DC employee, or you make a certain type of money, they set aside a certain amount of apartments so you can live in those quote-unquote luxury apartments, and you can pay a low amount of money. You still going to pay, don't get me wrong. It ain't like you just going to pay, you know, whatever number you want to put out there. You still going to pay, but it ain't going to be the exuberant amount that others may be paying. So that's when you want to get involved in politics, so they can put policies and legislation in place like that, so you can be affected in a positive way. And I think that's how the money and the politics of DC intertwine, in my opinion.
So you got Pizza Authentica. They have like Napoleon pizzas and stuff.
We black folks, we're trying to.
Yeah, and then we
just ate cheese and cheese, extra sauce, and a veggie drink.
Yeah.
That looks like that's the closest. And then there's this other one called We the Pizza, another New York style.
That works.
But that's like southeast.
What's We the Pizza? Where's that?
That's probably right down the street.
It says 305 Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast.
Fit in DC, luxurious fitness, man. Life of luxury, man. This is love right here.
Yeah, box shop. It's official box shop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's official. I can't do it.
Yeah. Box shop.
For your explosion. Yeah. And it's nice, man, down here at the wall.
This is good. I got 24-hour access to this whole thing.
I gotta hit the bag. Incredible, dog. I seen it on the news. When they first opened this, I seen this on the news.
Fireworks 2 weeks ago.
Oh, dang, yeah, this is something.
Fireworks 2 weeks ago, man. They right out here. Singer.
Oh, man.
Monel.
Yeah.
Janae Monel.
Yeah.
Janae Monel.
Well, in the city right now, I mean, we pushing for initiative to get $15 an hour in Washington, D.C. right now. But in all actuality, for you just to live a basic life, it takes $25 an hour to live in our city right now. So money is becoming more imminent, whereas once upon a time, $15 would have been something in Washington, D.C. about 10 years ago. But right now, we're in a crisis right now. Gentrification is in town. The AMI is going up in different housing situations. And rules are being changed to alter that towards the point that either you have it or you don't in this town right now. And I feel like that's where I come in at.
Well, I do think that, they're high as hell, excuse my language, basically to kind of divert a certain origin of people to be able to reside within, the city, period. It's hard. Real estate is through the roof and you don't even own the land. If they want some $1 billion development on a strip of a neighborhood or something, they'll come and try to buy you out. And if you don't respond within that time frame, they'll definitely walk away with nothing in hand and still have to get out. I think that that's a shame that people purchase these properties for so much money and you don't even own the land. Like, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
Well, I'll be honest, it's a lot of people who are educated and they make good money, very good money, because you need a lot of money to live in this city. But look at the people who don't make that good money and they're trying to hold on to the city, which is it's hard. It's really hard. And my niece bought a condo and it was called Affordables. And I asked the gentleman, I said, well, how much do you have to make to purchase this affordable? He told me $80-something thousand. Now, who's gonna say $80-something thousand is affordable? There's something really, really, really wrong with that picture. Everybody in the city don't make that kind of money, and you need over six-figure job to pay rent in this city, and to buy a house, you need 2, 3, or 4 incomes. So the economy in this city, I've been here for years, all my life, 65 years, and I don't plan to leave. I definitely don't plan to leave. But there's a lot of people leaving because they can't take care of themselves here. They can't buy food and groceries and pay rent. So many people are leaving the city. Well, they were underdeveloped because poor people live there. Okay? People make money off of poor people. They don't care. You know, they will dump waste into their neighborhoods. They made projects and put all these poor people together. They don't care about poor people. And a lot of poor people don't have the money. Many, not all of them, but many of them don't vote. So they're treated like that. But things have changed now because many of those people have left. And those same neighborhoods that you're speaking of that were undeveloped, oh, they're getting supermarkets, they're getting banks, they're getting all kind of stores, outside restaurants. So it's a new day in this city because new people live. It's some new people living there. That's for one reason.
It's prosperous. It's prosperous, man. It's the nation's capital, man. We make the money here. It's money here for us. For us black brothers, we just gotta apply ourselves, and the city just, I feel as though the city Washington DC don't train and prepare its residents for the whole magnitude of this city. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, we gotta compete with the out-of-towners that's coming here, y'all. But how do we compete? You feel me? That's why I say you gotta educate yourself and get some credentials some type of way. You gotta play the game some type of way if you wanna make a good, decent living, because I think you gotta be making really 6 figures to really live comfortable in DC. Maybe 80,000 to 6 figures. I don't know, but to really live how you really want to live in DC, I think that's the range you got to be in, 100,000. So it's yeah, man. And it's I feel as though us as colored people, we do good here in DC. I don't see myself doing good government job, you feel me, in another city or state, because outside of DC, everything black and white to me, you feel me? It's the real world, for real. But, man, money-wise, man, it's a prosperous city, and there's a lot of money out here. Yeah. Look into CBE contract vending, government contracts. They giving away money, y'all. Telling you, they giving it away, straight up. But they don't really throw the resources in our face and all the stuff that we really need, you feel me?
Yeah, so we right here, Division Avenue, man, right around Woodson, Northeast, but this part of Northeast more like Southeast, you feel me? And it's all for a reason, man. Part of this is a lot of oppression and everything like this, man. You got the alley, the people backyards right here, but then you got the front right here because it's a project and they just want your mind to be, real junked up, man, so you don't make good decisions right and everything like this. So, we got to figure out a way to liberate ourselves and everything like this. So this book right here, Between Justice and Beauty, is a big thing right here, and it just talks about the makeup of this city. Georgetown was just the start, and that's why they removed the black people away from Georgetown to revamp and do it into where this is all money. This is a money part of town. And so that's what's going on now, all throughout the city now, because this was the original plan for DC. And when they made DC, there was a lot of things going on. Slavery was still going on, but they knew that slavery would not continue in the form that it was. And so, they made room and made definitely systematic strategies to put in play to make sure that undesirables would not mess up the plan. And if you see, this is what it is, this is the plan. But the thing about it now is if you have education and knowledge, it doesn't matter what you look like, what your skin color is, you can fight against oppression, you can fight against injustices because you already understand what's going on. And so that's why these things are important, okay? That's why everything I'm talking about here is really vital because you had the tools. Even if you are there are prejudices against you, you can now fight against it because you understand what those things are, and that's what it's all about. Because, you know, back then we had much prejudice against us, and things may have gotten better, but we are, if not in the worst conditions than we were back then, because we had the unity, we stuck together, and we had that knowledge of self. But now things have been shut off so much, nobody's passing that information back down. And so we want to start doing that and, you know, just building up some rapport with one another, man. Stop killing each other. And all this stuff is related, man. We killing each other in the city, but we not knowing what's really good, man. We got to start sitting down, talking to the youngins and doing what it do, man. But this canal right here, man, was how the wealth came into the city right here, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention, you know, it's a political city. So with politics, man, that's all where the money is at. They was printing the money. They've been printing the money here too, but, you know, exporting, importing, that's right here. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Brazil, all these exports right here in DC. We had the export-import game on lock right here with this here canal, man. So they want you right now to save it because people eat over here. Who knows what they want with exporting or whatever type of stuff business they trying to do. I mean, you know, it's still a beautiful place. People come eat. They got the eateries all over. You know, people, office buildings, people live over there. So, you know, this right here is still a booming and prominent area. You know, because like everybody know Georgetown got that money. Everybody know that the Georgetown got that money, man. But you know what I'm saying? We you know, this ain't even about that. I just still wanted to reflect and let people understand where we really come from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. If your peoples really was origin from D.C., man, they probably was in Georgetown right here working this canal, man, getting everything up off of here, you know what I'm saying? Getting the seeds and sowing the seeds, shipping it off to Bury Farms, Trinidad Farms, because it wasn't nothing but farmland. This what this was, man. Produce, man. You know what I'm saying? Now the government in play, playing with your food and everything like that. You don't even know what to eat. What is food? You feel me? But yeah, man, we're going to continue with this journey, man. DC Call. Stay tuned, baby. It's your boy Grape Jelly out here, man, kicking it to you with that real.
DC's economy sucks. I'm very disappointed with it, mainly because I feel like there is an expectation that everyone in DC has money and everyone in DC can afford the cost of living. And if you can't afford the cost of living, we might help you, but when we do help you, we see you as a lower classman and we see you as the scum on our shoes. And it breaks my heart to see an area where I grew up in that was full of life and full of potential and educated people, and they were always a little crazy. But for the most part, there was life here that is now leaving because people are continuously stressed about living and how they're going to live and how they're going to make it. And like I said, I'm not big on politics, so I don't really know the ins and outs of where we are economically as relates to the government, but I know it ain't a good place. I know that it's not smart to be in debt and still spend money. And I feel like because of that, this area has a major issue with poverty. I am God has given me a heart for the homeless, and it's a major heavy heart. It's very, very heavy, and it breaks my heart that years ago when I used to go out to feed the homeless, or when I used to see them growing up, that the numbers have grown tremendously. Like the park where I go, which is between 13th and K downtown, where it used to be a few people on the bench, now the park is full. There could be hundreds of people out there at a time sometimes if you go down there during the summer months, and everyone is being fed and everyone is being taken care of. They all congregate there to, be taken care of. And I am very disappointed that we live in an area where people have to beg to be taken care of instead of being empowered and financially stable enough to take care of themselves. Part of me is disappointed that we didn't take care of what we had, because I remember living in areas that were beautiful and watching my friends or the neighborhood kids or even teenagers or grown men tear it apart, rip it apart, damage it, just treat it like it isn't nothing, like it's not their home. But the other part of me understands that there is a systematic reason for that behavior, but still doesn't see it as an excuse. I feel like we've come extremely far, and we haven't really completely took a hold of the blessings that God has given us to come out of where we were and move forward. And I feel like that the neighborhoods that were once beautiful were destroyed. But there is also some responsibility to the networks and the systems to build that up for the people who live here. And I feel like they have not done that at all. I feel like they are more concerned about paying that debt that they have made and changing the climate so that money could be made off of this area instead of building it up to be the beautiful place that it was, so that the people who are from here can live here. I will never forget, I was in high school, I think, and I literally saw the shift. People that I grew up with, people that I loved and knew, or people that I didn't know, were being put out of their homes and had to go somewhere else and live on government assistance because they couldn't live where they were from anymore. So a lot of the people that you see in Alexandria were originally from DC. A lot of the people you see in subsidy housing in Maryland were originally from DC. And I think that that's a major concern, that they felt the best way to handle that was to push people out instead of building up the area. And like I said, part of that is our fault because of the way we treated it. But also, there should be some type of responsibility to our government for not taking the initiative to clean up what they messed up in the first place.
They're gonna get you out of the way. And I always tell people, if you ever leave this city or you get pushed out of the city, you're gonna need at least $1 million to get back in this job.
And keep talking about this above my back.
Oh yeah. You gonna appreciate it. You gonna need a meal ticket to get back in this city if you ever get pushed out, straight up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of neighborhoods are being redeveloped. You got my projects, like I said, Saratoga, 640, Surfing Quarters. You can ride up Connoisseurs right now, man. If you knew how Connoisseurs look in the 90s, you go up Connoisseurs and think that, man, that joint was The Sims or something. Like somebody just put that joint together. Like you got different colored doors and everything. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they making the city look good for a certain reason. And like I said, it don't take rocket science to understand what it's about.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, people come from all over the world just to live in our city that we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? We got museums in our city. We got the zoo for free. You ask an average Washingtonian, man, how many museums they've been to, they probably look at you like you crazy. Like, man, I couldn't even tell you how many monuments we got that we ain't never visited or been to. But people pay top dollar to come in our city. and check out the stuff we take for granted. It's crazy, but it's life though. You know what I'm saying? It's just life. It's life. It is what it is. You gotta understand what it's gonna be. You see, man, it's a lot of moving. Ain't too much sense still in DC. You paid attention, it was like 5 people right here. 2. At one point it was just me, then 2 other people come up. So it's like, it's always movement, man. It's always movement. You stand still in the city, you're gonna get left behind, man. Keep moving. You know what I'm saying? But DC is like no other place. They trying to make DC more commercialized and make it like, you go downtown, you see a lot of skyscrapers being built. I ride through the city and look at, I laugh. I'm like, man, they trying to turn this on in New York? Ah, man. Let us live. As long as I still got breath in my body, I'm gonna be a Washingtonian. Straight up. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't never leaving DC. I'm never moving out this city. I done traveled all over the world. I done seen all types of places. I done went places, man. People done. Dog, I'm gonna tell you like this. I went to Aruba one time. Like, beautiful island, man. Beautiful. Some beautiful. When I touched down there, man, about 4 hours after that touchdown, man, my first thought was, damn, I wonder what's going on back home. I want to go back home. You know what I'm saying? I like it more here. I like what you see right here. Don't get it twisted. I love big houses and the pretty and all that, the fancy cars and all that type of stuff. But man, this is what I know, and I love this, man. I'm not stuck in no box. Don't get it twisted. Like, man, I can't go nowhere, or I'm not cultured enough. I seen a lot. I seen a lot of the good that everybody wants. But this is what I love. Don't fault me for it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all scared to say that. A lot of y'all scared to say that y'all, this is what y'all love. You hear so many people saying, man, I'm trying to get this bag so I can get the fuck up out of here. For what? You can still get the bag and increase and make your living situation better. Make sense out of it. Why you on road? Uplift our city. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good dudes that's still here that's doing the same thing. They could have got about Big Z could have got about it. Acting. His acting could have took him to LA or wherever, New York. That man get on a plane and go to Cali, or get on the train, go to New York, do filming, get back on the train and come back down and perform the same night. You got dudes like Tony Lewis, still here. Man, his book, man, is worldwide. People read Slug at every penitentiary in the United States of America. People reading in every household. People reading in Catholic schools. That man could have rolled. He's still on handover. The short block, as he called it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I'm one of them type dudes. I'm not leaving my city. I'm for real. I'm not even trying to leave my block. I'm going to try to, man, as long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to try to stay in my section to make sure my people straight. I'm going to do whatever I can do to make sure my people straight. Whether it's sitting out here in the rain with my youngins, you know what I'm saying, making sure they got a ride in the house or they got something to eat in their stomach. If they ain't got no money in their pocket, they got money on their own. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, man, yeah, that's me. That's what sums me up, man. That's who I am at the end of the day. DC is my city. They call me the neighborhood superstar. I didn't ask for that name. It's not so proclaimed. I was given that name. I love my neighborhood. I love my people. And at the end of the day, man, I give everything I got when I wake up in the morning and step out the house to make sure that they good in any type of way necessary, man. That's it, man. That's DC. DC cult, man. DC culture. Man, with his food, everything, man. Y'all make sure y'all support, man, all the good men out here that's putting in work for our city, man. My man Mac Jellyvision, man, Who's Mizzou Network, man, every DMV, Hoods and News, everybody that's doing something, man, to bring light to our city and show the good and show the bad that needs improvement. Shout out to y'all and keep working, man. DC Cult, 2018, man. It's coming straight at you.
Economy. What they want to talk about, the currency. We got the motherfucking Bureau engraving here, nigga. They make the money right here. Fuck they talking about? Yeah, the fucking currency. DC one of the highest places to live, I think, after like LA and New York or some shit like that. I think it's like the 3rd highest place and shit. Most of the shit live here in DC. And got a rack of homeless people. Nigga fuckers living, homeless people sleep right outside fucking White House, nigga. Fucking on the mall, they got tents out here, boy. You can ride through DC and see tents, nigga. Like, niggas living on the fucking highway, nigga, off the freeway and the tunnel and shit, nigga. DC fucked up. They got all this money here, ain't no money here. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But what they want to know about the currency? What we talking about DC money? What we getting into? A lot of money here though. Know that shit. A lot of money being made. A lot of money in DC. And a lot of people that's living in DC now ain't even from here. So you just gotta imagine how much money floating through this motherfucker. How many people live here who folks got money who that's coming. You know. See how this shit like baby New York. Go downtown now. Chinatown don't even look the same. 8th Street don't even look the same, my nigga. Shit. Got condos and fucking shit that cost $5,000 to live in a month and shit. You seen that shit? This shit, I went to apartment. This shit ain't even bigger. My apartment bigger than that shit. It costs $5,000 living in that shit just because of where it's at, man. This shit crazy. DC fucking economy, man. Bullshit. They trying to move all the black folks out, which we know. They been doing that shit forever. Hold up, my man. Hold up. Put that down for a second. You know what I'm saying? They trying to do it. They trying to fuck us all up, man. They moving it, trying to move us all out. That's why they calling what that PG 9th ward, nigga. All the blacks off that motherfucker now. DC fucked up, but I love it. Don't get it twisted. I love my city. But these motherfucking whiteys that moved in and they fucking it up. And I hate to say it like that because I don't want to make it sound like all whiteys is bad because I love some of them too. But the ones that I don't know that's putting these fucking strings and putting all these silly ass dog parks and shit up. And don't get me wrong, I love dogs, so you know. But yeah, putting all this silly shit up, man, because that's what's making them comfortable. That's some bullshit. They knocking down shit that like made memories. Like people got real live memories there. Like nigga, like you knocking down whole complexes and shit to put up parking lots and dog parks and some other shit, or you know what I'm saying, and like taking niggas whole hoods away. Niggas coming home from doing bids and shit, and you know what I'm saying, and come home to nothing. Don't have a home. Whole family that been moved somewhere. You know, look at the displacement of the motherfucker being when you know what I'm saying. Like all this shit that's going on here, man. There's a lot of shit going on when you know the niggas ain't talking about. It's all because of money. It's your money. Like DC about to be one of the spots. Your money gotta be long to live here. You ain't got the money, you can't live in DC. You can live right around here. DC, they wanted to be a certain kind of way now. And this shit been the plan. It was designed this way, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't trying to be funny. I might sound radical as shit when I say this, but niggas be robbing each other in DC. Need to be robbing them other motherfuckers. Make them motherfuckers scared to be here. I ain't trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real, like on my activist, on my political revolutionary shit. Like, I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? And that all got something to do with the money and shit too, because they been making us fight over fake money and making us think that this shit, man, how you gonna take from a nigga who look just like you, and then you never know what this nigga just did to get his money. He might have went and worked a hard job all day, every day, to get all of what he got. He might really do it the honest way, but you rather rob that nigga than go rob that white nigga right there. And I ain't even trying to be funny like Richie wrote, but I'm just saying though, like, that's just crazy as shit to me, that make more sense to you. Oh nah, it ain't that. It's because you scared, because you know in DC, if you fucking one of them, man, the police and all that shit, they gonna get your ass, they gonna rush you. That's crazy shit, but you'll do it to your own folks, man. That's crazy. I never got that shit. And then niggas be wondering why motherfuckers don't wanna help you, and why niggas don't wanna let you in their house or wanna, you know, give you nothing or let's use their cell phone, because y'all niggas do the worst to each other. I won't carry that motherfucker right there who folks probably was carrying the shit out your folks for 500 years. Not to say you supposed to take it out on them, but I'm just saying though. Like if you got some type of animosity or something against somebody, it should be against your motherfucking oppressors. The people who oppress your people. That's at least how I feel. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, that might be a little bit too much for niggas. Niggas might not be able to get on that wave with me. Fuck all that. Oh yeah, that shit alright. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm on some other shit, man. My man Mac got me over here on my activist shit. Got me thinking, you know, I don't be liking shit. I don't like certain shit. J-Rock really for I'm real live on some activist shit. I don't be liking certain shit. And then the way I just be feeling like, fuck that. You gotta definitely take what's yours, but definitely be smart about it too. Don't be no dummy. And don't just be out here, just starting wars and shit and trying to declare war and shit without having your shit in order. And you gotta get your money together, nigga. You gotta have your money right, nigga. Because see, this is the thing. When you start doing that type of shit, you see what's going on with T.I. and shit now. That nigga decided, not to say he did a whole lot, he just did a little bit of something. They fuck with him on a small scale. And I'm just using him because that's just going on right now. But nigga, on a small scale, when you start saying little shit and they start knowing what you really thinking about, if you ain't got your shit and your ducks in the row, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no shit to back you, nigga, you can't do that. You gotta have your shit together, boy. And that's the problem with niggas, man. I'm telling you, niggas got to band together. Stop all this bullshit. Get your ducks in a row, get everything lined up, and man, orchestrate, man. They not gonna, man. I'm telling you, they ain't gonna know what to do. I'm telling you, they ain't gonna know what to do. Take back your shit. This our shit, man. You ain't even gotta be an asshole about it when you do it either. Just go take your shit, cause it's yours. They know. The fuck, nigga. You know what I'm saying? A nigga know, just like a nigga know when they owe you money, a nigga know when they wronging you. A nigga know when you deserve something, when you supposed to have that shit. That's why they don't bring it up. That's why they try to keep you from thinking about it so much, nigga. Come on, man. Y'all niggas got to get smart, man. Come on, man. Stop, man. That's that whole welfare shit. I keep telling these niggas mad at me about that shit. When I was talking about that shit, I say, man, y'all niggas use that shit as a crutch. Like, see, this is the thing. I don't have a problem with a motherfucker on welfare. Don't get me twisted, because, nigga, I grew up on that shit. So it ain't none of that. Don't get it fucked up. It's just this. Like, nigga, if you going to be using that shit, use it and get the fuck up off it. Don't use it and keep one it as a crutch and stay in the same spot. Like nigga, if you on welfare for 10 years, nigga, there's something wrong. Especially if you're in the same spot. You supposed to have a plan. That's supposed to be used for. That's supposed to be used so that you can, get up and just, take it to the next level. Not stay right here the whole time. Like, how you want to be there, but you gonna stay right here? You can't never get there if you gonna stay right here, because you too comfortable to move away from that shit. That shit is a tool to be used as a stepping stone for you to be like, all right, I'm gonna stay right here, then I'm gonna move here and I'm moving there. You understand? Niggas don't use it the right way. Niggas, man, start depending on that shit. And that's my problem with the welfare shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas start depending on that shit. They make you dependent on all that, the food stamps, the rent shit, the little money they give you, the TANF, whatever that shit is. All that shit. Niggas don't even want to go work, get a real job, and that. And don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily want to work for nobody 9 to 5 all the time. But nigga, you don't even want to get up and work for yourself. Because you so lazy, you so gone off that shit, because you so caught up on that shit. But you'll get up and go sit in that motherfucking office for 5 hours and wait for a motherfucker to talk to you and sign that paper. But you won't put 5 hours of the day in, you know what I'm saying, to make you some paper. The fuck? Like, I don't get it, the dysfunction. And niggas comfortable living in that shit. And that's the thing. And not to say I ain't never been, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I done rose above that shit now. I'm kind of like in another, so I want niggas to be there with me. It ain't that I ain't down in the nigga or none of that shit. Because, nigga, I've been there. But what I want you to understand is that is a high level elevation that you got to go to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get past this point. You got to move ahead.
All day. Hey, mama, I'm gonna be on TV. Who's the Zoo Network out this motherfucker? Let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Eat it for the camera. Eat it up. Eat it up. Yeah. Eat it up. Eat it up. How you feeling? Yeah, baby. Hey, eat that shit up. Yeah. Eat that shit up for the camera. Go ahead, cuz. It's so cold. Oh my God. Eat it up. Eat it up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Don't get too close. Oh no. I gotta get my blacks on this motherfucker. Y'all already. Yeah, all caps, baby. Yeah, I ain't never seen this shit before.
With all the excitement with the Caps winning The cup, for the first time in over like 20 years, it's a lot of money flowing through the city, a lot of revenue, economy booming, with pandemonium in the streets of Washington, D.C. over this cup that the hockey team has brought back to the city. It will also generate a lot of money as well as inflate the cost to live in the city even more, because more people are now drawn to the city because of its athletic attributes as well as political.
It's all caps on these niggas.
It's just the camaraderie that came with it, everybody, you know, but due to the lack of education and resources, that's what came to violence and the crime and the jealousy and things like that, and that's the part that drugs played again. But bringing it back to the future, we up here at the new rec center up on Childress Street, up Trinidad, top of Trinidad. Like I said, we at the top, and you know, people just gotta get a grip, man. We been here balling and all like this, but step into the meetings. I mean, and it's just for everybody in DC, man. You know, in your community, man, you want to be involved, man. Go into the meetings, them ANC meetings and everything, because that's where it be going down, where most of the changes occur. You know, not just with the president or you know, the mayor. It really happens within your community on a local level. So, you know, just get involved, you know what I'm saying? And I try to stay involved and everything like that, but it's not probably to the capacity that that it should be. But hey, you know, it's what it is. But yeah, this the top of Trinidad, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, politics is played a big part on how like this wreck got built. But you know, it was in the people's hands to make it like they wanted. They just did not show up. So, you know, instead of pointing the finger and always complaining, we just gotta really know what we want. You gotta know what you want and know how to be a part of the process, you know? So let's get involved and educate, you know what I mean? So, you know, we was put in the gutter for a reason, but, you know, let's get our head out the gutter. That's why they say get your mind out the gutter. But, you know, you might be physically in a circumstance where you might be in a gutter, because that's strategic oppression, really. But, you know, let's get our minds out the gutter and stand up, man.
It's here. It's here. It's too much.
It's too much money. It's too much money.
This the capital. The capital can never go down. If they go down, the U.S. go down. You see what I'm saying? They make the money here. They print the money here. The president is here. So the money is never going. This is the richest city. Nowhere is richer than Washington, D.C. So the money is always going to be here. You see what I'm saying? You just got to find a way to go get it.
Shit, we the plug. We got this shit.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? We as in the money-wise, is here. We got talent. Nah, we got clubs. We got one of the top 5 cities with clubs. Other than what, L.A., New York, and some major cities, and Miami and Boston or something like that. But we top 5, one of the major cities. Yeah. This is where the president at. There's no way you can't be top 5. We got a U Street, we got an 8th Street, we got a Connecticut Avenue. Like, we got strips and shit. That's money. You see what I'm saying? All you got to do is find a way to get to it. A lot of niggas don't want to do that. They just want to settle. All right, I'm going to just do it like this, then fuck it up. I just take this little 9 to 5. Nah, it ain't no money in the city. It is. You just got to be an entrepreneur and go get it.
For one, the city got too many opportunities, too many programs for you to get up and go and get yourself a job or some money. So if you just sitting down doing nothing, man, ain't no excuses. Too many programs in D.C. for you to help get yourself together.
Isn't that little young that's 18 years old start off with government jobs? You see what I'm saying? You come smack out of high school, you go on a little internship, you get a government job. For when you making more money than your mother or father is, man. Like, this real rap. Your mother or father might been in Maryland her whole life working. In the city, you a young nigga, they giving you a salary. You making $64,000 a year.
There's plenty of money in the city, but I vowed to myself to never work for another company or sponsor.
Yeah, I would never do that. I'm my own brand, you see what I'm saying? You gotta brand yourself. They brand themselves. McDonald's, you think the owner, you making $18 an hour, he making $18 million an hour. You see what I'm saying? Like
his $18, your $18.
You see what I'm saying? Your $10 to him is nothing. That's not even a penny to him. Literally, it's not even a cent.
I'm gonna let y'all know this. This how much money it is in DC. I just watched my man mother buy Chick-fil-A and a Family Dollar. Her own part of that franchise. That's how much money it is in DC. So when people say it ain't no money in DC, you're lying. It ain't no money in the streets no more. Streets watered down.
Because it don't play fair.
You understand me? But this, once again, this when the education part taking into place. This when you need to switch to that. I know what I'm talking about. This is what it is.
And it need to be the males, though, because these females, to be honest with you, they on their shit. Like it's the males who won't let the shit go. Like, look here, Shawty, you don't want to work a 9 to 5. Why? You ain't making no money out there. I see you.
You ain't doing nothing, standing outside all day.
Shawty, I see you, Shawty. You flipping that little half. You done smoked 7 grams out of that already. You made nothing back. Now what you gonna tell your son? I can't do this, I can't do that stuff. If you want to get money, you got real life.
You gotta have that mindset, and you gotta leave the outside world alone. You can't have no outside distractions, no nothing, because at the end of the day, people gonna try to distract you when they see you doing good, because they don't want you to level up or go past them for real.
The city, the people with the money in the city, I noticed that. If you in the city, and the people in the city that got money, if they see you working towards something, they fucking with you. Point blank, period. I don't care if you doing comedy, singing, rapping, drawing, painting. If they see you really putting effort for, because I don't work a 9 to 5, period. I do straight comedy. I'm always booked up, because I'm out here. Like, you got to really go talk to these people. Like, look, how much you need for this venue? If they don't see your face, they don't care about Instagram. They want to see hand to hand. Like, he funny on Instagram. Well, I want to see what's his personality.
In real life.
Yeah, you walk up to these people, they fuck around with you. You a good dude. Matter of fact, I don't need no money for you. I'll give you the venue. I like the way you're driving. It happened to me plenty times. Oh, bruh.
Meanwhile, existing residents are starting to really feel disenfranchised. Activist Tony Lewis Jr. has put together a DC native photo shoot to show the representation that African Americans do have in the city.
Since an embryo, really though, it's the city where the people hold the power, and you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. With lunch and Joe is the lingo, and brothers ride, so ain't nobody rocking mink coats. Take you back to the madness had for how.
And get on the right foot, because I know even with the change and all these things happening, this big money, you know, man, if you still here right here, you could do it, you know, educate yourself, hustle. You know what I'm saying? Build with one another. And it's ways to really stay here in the city. And even if you don't stay in the city, keep in mind, it costs to live. And it's just things are being inflated everywhere. So, you know, time, just like back in the day, things was cheaper. So no matter where you at, the price of living gonna go up. You know, it just so happens this is the nation's capital. And where, you know, it was always a grand vision for this place. So I ain't gonna really go too much no further than that, you know. Other than that, man, you know, top of Trinidad, man, you know, they used to be like, man, give me a head on top of Trinidad bunk bed. And that was a little saying that the guys had that was from up the top. But, you know, like I came up here a lot to play the basketball or go in the gym, and now they got the weight room. I come up here to lift the weight room, and they took our gym from us down the bottom. So now that's a dog pop, but I still work out and things of that nature. And then the thing is, it's all kind of different sports. Like they got the rugby, soccer, all kind of things. These things are being utilized, and other groups and cultures are taking advantage of it, you know. And if you look right over here, you know, they building up on some of these houses. You know, these row houses, something similar to Baltimore. You know, people was not really wanting it, and it was always valuable. I came home from college and told people that they gotta buy. They need to buy. I told them, we gotta buy, yo. We gotta get some of this property. And I was telling them, man, come on, fuck it, let's grow some weed, man. Y'all out here hustling. Man, I came straight up to some of the old guys that was out here getting money in the street and like, man, you know, you gotta get some of this property. And a lot of us like, nobody wanna live in DC. And that was the whole plan, to make you not wanna live in DC, to appreciate Maryland more so that you will free up the space. Because like I said, DC, before blacks came up here, it was a lot of Jewish people, a lot of, you know, let's just say people that weren't black, you know? And that's who was here in DC. And when we came, it was just like, oh my goodness, it's a lot of black people. And, you know, it did make people didn't want to, you know what I mean? So, and it, you know, they created traps. That's why they call the hood the trap. I mean, it's just that simple. So you could either choose to stay in the trap once you know this knowledge, or wake the fuck up And man, you know what I'm saying, make better decisions, man. Send your kids to school. You can even go back to school. You don't even gotta get to go to school to educate yourself, to be truly educated, man. I mean, that's big, you know what I'm saying? Like, truly to be educated, man, I say, man, you know, it's really just like being willing to understand that learning occurs all the time and how learning works and just knowing the value of education and things of that nature like that, you know. That's like truly being educated, because a wise man know he don't know everything. And you know what I'm saying, you gotta know how to listen and things of that nature, because how you gonna learn if you don't know how to listen and take in information, criticism, and things of that, feedback, so you can get better, because all of those are tools to help you get better. So when you lose or you have a failure, that's a tool you have to get better. And so with our shortcomings in America, these are tools we had to get better. So that's all I'm simply trying to break down, so we can stop complaining or stop pointing the finger or feeling like, oh, help me stay here. Like, nah, man, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Like, that's how I feel. That's why I created my platform. And this is one of my first projects. That's why I'm coming back with the DC Cult 2 to give you this real, man, now that I've been educating myself and evolving into the man that I've become, the dad that I've become. You know what I'm saying? And DC's a part of that, because it definitely made me who I am growing up, to have to get that tough exterior and things of that nature. So, you know, this is what it is, man. It can't get no realer than that. I know you see this construction going on right here. It's non-stop. It's not stopping. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out how to get my next dollar, but really knowing it's not about the money. I got to educate myself so that I can know what to do with the money. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you use what you have.
Oh, why? Wow, okay. It's funny because a lot of these, great questions kind of overlap within each other, because it goes back to the corruption conversation we had earlier around some of the other parts around DC politics. And honestly, to take it a step further, it's the same as it relates to, I would say as it relates to every urban city in America, really. But more specifically, as we speak on DC, it was done intentionally. Gentrification was always a part of the plan. It always was set up in a way, eventually, to move us out and move others in. Again, that's not to bash other races and cultures, because I believe in cultural unity as well. But since we're talking about DC at one point was predominantly black, and, with sprinkles of some Hispanic. So it's people of color. And the reason why was originally called Chocolate City is because we're dealing with black folk. And the issue is that around the climate of the drugs and the poverty, and even speaking on what I touched on earlier about the DC riots from the 60s and whatnot, those buildings weren't built back up for a reason. The projects that they placed people in wasn't, even when it was ratchet and tore down and dilapidated and terrible looking, they didn't revitalize it for a reason, because it was originally designed to bring drugs into community, to put a cap on educational development and community development, to put a cap on certain opportunities not afforded to, those in the neighborhoods whose parents were on drugs. I had one of my closest friends from high school, both of his parents was on heroin the entire time we was in high school. There was no program that was afforded to them, developed to help them get off of drugs. Now, yes, they have some programs for drug prevention or drug intervention, but overall, most of the people in the hood don't know nothing about that. They haven't been educated, and they haven't been taught to be educated. And so it was systematically designed to bring these things into the community, violence, drugs, guns, all of that, so that basically that, coupled with the lack of education, of knowledge of self, and understanding of who we are as people who were once kings and queens and who had value in the world, we basically self-implode, kill ourselves, put ourselves in the prison system by way of doing things illegal that get us locked up, down to even colorism, for example. You know, growing up when you hear phrases like a yellow bone, red bone, light skin, dark skin, or they say to a dark skin girl, "Oh, you pretty for a dark skin girl," or to a light skin girl, "Oh, she bougie," simply because she light skinned. So what I'm saying is all these different forms of mental, emotional, physical, economical genocide were intentionally planted until it ran its course long enough to where they could say it's in bad enough conditions that we gotta step in and do something. And to do something wasn't we really want to do something to help empower and correct what's wrong, to make sure that the people who have been growing up in these poor conditions can finally feel like they're in a safe neighborhood, finally feel like they're getting education that's afforded to them correctly, and finally feel like that the rich culture that exists in D.C. can be highlighted in a positive way. It was done so that we would wipe ourselves out. They could step in and then build bigger buildings, bigger businesses. So much so, it's like they building so many buildings around gentrification now. You wonder if you're going to ever even see any trees. A lot of people don't know that D.C. is built on swampland. So a lot of the trees that exist and that vegetation, which we need, by the way, for oxygen to breathe on the planet. And so they have all these buildings built up, and you got a lot of the white folk and a lot of folk from Virginia and other places who could come into the communities and moved in where we used to be, and all these things are built up to benefit them because they're taking the city back over. Meanwhile, most of us keep getting pushed out to Maryland, pushed out to Waldorf, pushed out to Forest Creek, pushed out to Woodmore, all these places. But it was never set up for us to benefit from what's being built up now. That's why they waited until we self-destructed ourselves just enough for them to say it's a national issue.
Shit, there's money out here. It's so much money out this bitch. That's why so much shit is so expensive out this bitch. But shit, at the end of the day, shit, I love this city. One of the reasons I love this bitch is because of the economy, because there's money all flowing through this bitch. We the nation capital. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if we make the money down this bitch. I don't know, I ain't in the politics, I don't really know, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised, you hear me? Shit, we making money anyway, the legal way and the illegal way. We requested a recreation center and we got that bitch. We got boxing inside that bitch, everything inside that bitch. We got a boxing gym and everything in that bitch, you hear me?
Riding in that motherfucking bus. Brand new Gucci with no hoe. Wake up every morning, catch a dope. I don't fuck with anything cold. Alright.
You gonna be able to walk around?
Try to rob, then he got shot. Hurt him with some crutches. He ain't get the belts back. Damn, I never killed my man. Coming from a hole where you trust me, man. I had to be a goal. My moms ain't understand. DC put that Glock 40 in my hand. Hey, duck it! Hey, duck it! Hey, duck it! Why? Cause you don't want to end up like me. I'm the fed for accident murder. One shot to the head. I cried so much when I heard that she was dead. I love you, baby. I'm looking at her picture and I really miss her. I tell Ashley that I love her when I kiss her picture.
Damn, I'm getting, damn, I'm
Even if I caught her cheating with her love now. Even put myself
I know what it is. I'm around a bomb right now. Getting this bitch up here, living landlord, flying for you.
This become a fool. I was strapped with the fool. Now I'm strapped with this fool. Cut my sleep with the mark when I ain't got it.
This access has been granted, you hear me? Yeah. This motherfucker lighter, you see that bitch? Riding in that motherfucking Rover. Nah, you know, listen, what I used to do before I went to jail, this is my shit. You know what's my shit? Come on, Lord Donnell. I got this mic on. Bad ass nigga. Let me know we can do sound check so you can hear me. And go run this shit. Well, I ain't got it.
It's a remote to the jump?
Yeah, they control that shit down there. Good. That's the Bilal. We about to fuck up. You ain't gonna be able to walk around with that bitch? Yeah, we can walk around with that bitch too. Yeah, we gonna do this right quick and then we can just walk around with that bitch. I'm gonna do what I did with your brother and then we can do how. Alright, that's a fact.
Real quick, man. What's up, man? Tell us who we got on the
What's poppin'? You know what it is. Your boy 9 Millie, aka Mr. Land Low and Plan Slow, aka the Prince of Lynch Mob, nigga. You know what's up? We in this bitch. Your access has been granted right now, you heard me?
Yeah, man, tell us a little bit what it was like growing up in DC for you, man.
Shit, at the end of the day, you know, this shit was an epidemic moment. You know it was rough. You know what I'm saying? A lot of drugs selling, a lot of shooting, a lot of killing, everything, you heard me? Like, a lot of welfare living, EBT cars, you know what it is? Like, we was really out this bitch really thugging hard. Hustling, doing this bitch on a professional level, you heard me? Shit, that's pretty much what's up, you know what I mean? Like a fatherhood, all that shit.
Alright, you feel like a tourist in your own city?
Hell yeah, I just don't feel like a tourist around Lynch Mob. I feel like a tourist in my city because I don't leave up outside of Lynch Mob. So if a motherfucker asks me like where to take them at and shit, you heard me, I ain't gonna really know where to take them at. So for real, I do feel like a tourist. I don't really know this motherfucker like that. I know this motherfucker like that though, you heard me? Real talk.
Politics and shit. Man, what you think of when you think about DC politics?
As far as what, like, what you mean, like?
What come to mind? Just like, well, Marion Barry, he was, you know what I'm saying?
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, no question.
May he rest in peace.
When I was coming up, he had this little joint where he got everybody in summer job type shit like that. Make sure we had something to do. That shit, you know. So what you think about the politics now in DC?
You know, to keep it, yeah, to keep it gangster on some real gangster shit. Like, I've been gone for 10 years and some change, you heard me, out the Fed. So the politics shit, I ain't really into that shit, you heard me? But you gotta holler at some niggas around this bitch who was out this bitch and really know that shit. Like me, I ain't into that shit, so I don't really know, you heard me? I don't know what's what. I mean, they legalized like weed and shit like that, but other than that, you know, I don't even smoke weed, so I ain't even into that field, so I don't really know what the fuck is that all about, you heard me? But shit, I mean the minimum wage stepped up. I know about that. That got something to do with politics.
I think it's important to know about it though.
What? Anybody know about politics? I made some people. I made the people who was really living that 9-to-5 life is important. But the street niggas like myself and hustlers, you know, we ain't really give. I ain't give a fuck who the president was. Keep it gangster. I ain't give a fuck who the mayor was. I ain't give a fuck about none of that. Cause at the end of the day, cause nobody stop me from getting money. How we getting money, you heard me? And that's just what it is in life.
Education. What was going to school like in DC, whether it was private, public, or charter?
A lot of fist fights, you heard me? Shit. You know, by me being from Lynch Mob, I went to Anacostia. So, you know, we was getting it in every day on a minute, you heard me? I was an honor roll student in junior high. It just that when I got to high school, it was pretty much over with. Nigga with his knee too deep in them streets, you heard me? It was over after that.
No question, man. What do it mean to you to be truly educated?
Shit, education is everything. Cause see, no matter what a nigga can say about me, how bad I was thugging hard out this bitch, even though I dropped out of school, you heard me? Bitch, I still got my education. I still got my GED, you heard me? I got trades up under my belt, you heard me? And I'm thugging hard out this bitch. So you looking at a corporate thug for real, you heard me? Rather the bitch really doing this bitch, you heard me? So at the end of the day, I mean,
shit here like, you know what I'm saying?
oh shit, you already know what it is. Yeah, they be bumping this shit in the hood. Shit, music, you know, it started off with that go-go shit. You know, that's what we based up on, you heard me? On some real DC shit. Shout out to Chuck Brown, may he rest in peace, you heard me? The godfather of that bitch, you heard me? But other that, shit, a lot of niggas we starting to get real big with this rap shit. Like me, when I was a little nigga, I was just like made a force for this bitch, coming up out of this bitch, really making that noise as far as this rap shit. Did a little big, well not a little big, did a big, came home and I'm jumping back into this bitch. But we got our time now, right now, like we really about this bitch stuck in hard, you heard me? Real talk with that music shit. Everybody is rapping right now, real talk. I'm talking about 8 years old, everybody is rapping this bitch. It's easy to make it now, like, you can make a bubblegum joint and you gonna be on, you heard me? So shit, music right now, it's an epidemic moment for us right now.
Yeah. So are you an artist yourself?
Is I'm an artist? Look at me, do I look like one? Oh, man, ain't no fucking secret in life, man. It's a prince of the mob, you heard me?
So yeah, definitely, man.
A real artist.
Yeah, you put on, man.
I'm fucking with the rap, the R&B, rock and roll, bitch, whatever you want to do it. I'm a real artist in this shit. I love music. I love music with a passion. Shit, I be listening to Selena Gomez working out, you heard me? Justin Bieber and all them motherfuckers, you heard me? Right. Keep it gangster shit. I'm gonna keep it gangster on this bitch. You know what it is, I love music.
You'll work with anybody, basically.
Not anybody.
Okay.
Nah, not in your
Yeah. And yes, sure. Hey, hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah, me and my came in this joint in the line and got their little Eddie snatch and everything, man.
I appreciate what y'all doing representing the city.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm glad I was out here because
nah, it definitely was a blessing to have, like I said, with your knowledge and the 8-Mac, that right there, because I'm trying to pass it down, and the whole essence of this joint is what we missed it at with the knowledge, education, and the politics. But this right here was big, and I ain't never really came on this side. I used to just come on this side when I had a little action. And on the black hole, yeah, I'm right here on this line, tight as a motherfucker, trying to get on in here. I ain't gonna lie to you, but you know, I knew it was all love, and I really appreciate this shit right here, though, man. No question.
Man, I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
For real.
Yes, sir.
I like how
yes,
y'all
sir.
represent for the city.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because you know somebody else gonna come from somewhere else, and they just trying to get the money. They don't give a fuck about telling no story, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's something you could actually get up on top and you want. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, what you was talking about in the circle? I'm
about to walk you down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 640 past circle.
Whoa.
I'm calling the fuck out of the bar. Anyway, ain't that parade tomorrow?
Oh yeah, Tuesday. I know the news say they gonna be covering that bitch from 4 all the way till it's over. That's just what the news said. You know the setup. Nah, 4 in the morning, they probably gonna be setting up and shit, blocking off the road. Nah, I'm talking about fast. Yeah, it's gonna start. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you better not, because they getting up
to break down shit, block all streets and shit like that. That's what I'm telling you. And the news gonna be out covering it, covering them just, you know. Man, they shutting everything down for that shit, man. I don't even want to cover that shit, but I think I should cover just a glimpse of it for this documentary. Yeah, just for this documentary too, and just show how like now all of a sudden we didn't want to cut, man. This shit ain't by change, man. Everything, yeah, everything, man. This shit, all you gotta do is follow the money. Hey, look, yeah, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Shit, it's coming, and I don't even like the skin. Yeah, that's the whole shit behind the Cowboys. Why everybody was on the Cowboys. They was the first.
And then they
Curry. Yeah.
All right, so y'all see this, right?
Yeah.
This is 6.
I see it now.
See the 6?
Yeah.
Now flip it around. You see the 4 come this way, and this way?
Hold on.
You don't see the 4? It's backwards. Look. Down, over, down. You don't see the 4? The 4 go like this, right? Boop, boop, and boop.
Right. All right.
It's backwards. Look at the 4. It come down this way, over this way, down this way. See the 4? That's a circle, motherfucker. You see a 0.
Yeah.
40, nigga. Who's on the top of the building right there?
Yeah.
And notice that shit. The 4 is backwards. The 4 come this way. The 4, the 6 come down, and the 0. 6, 4. Wow.
Ain't no way to get up top of there quick though.
Nah, that shit locked down now. That shit, they got the locks on it. You brought it down.
So all this shit locked down?
No.
Oh.
All these buildings open.
Oh,
you see in all
okay. I was about to.
But the attic joint's locked.
Oh, to get up in there.
You want to go to the top of the building? Yeah, you can see from all the top of the building. Losing so many motherfuckers, man. Sometimes you gotta let niggas, man, leave you a brother. I never told you you a brother.
I fooled that, but I'm like, dang, why the police sitting at the bottom of the block? I called my man, he's like, man, they got the police in there. He's like, nah, man, we got the real life permit. So, man, we just bumping this shit.
Yeah. Damn, man. 40, man.
Yeah, nigga ran right through this job.
Oh, dude, this shit right here to get this jump. God. This shit make me feel like we in the 80s or just some different shit, seeing how that jump look like this. Spot on. That's all boarded up shit. Upon shooting this documentary, I was talking to a buddy of mine. We got the same birthday and everything, so we be connected. You know, we from the cosmos and everything. But he told me about this arboretum, and I remember going to Brown, seeing the arboretum, walking through 21st, you know what I mean, and not thinking nothing about it. Like, you know, but this arboretum got all these gardens and everything. Like DC, like you just gotta think, all this soil we landing on, we built it up, right? DC especially, man, the capital, all that, man. So this was right there in between the North and the South and everything like that. So the government was really fresh when DC was established and everything. So the government was just trying to become the dominant force that it is now, like an empire. And at first it wasn't, because it was anarchy. You had the North versus the South. And I mean, even if you have something like that, it's still all under that Constitution. And you got all the states meeting in the Senate building. So that was all a plan for DC, and to create a luxurious place for residents and people to live, landowners and things like that. But back to the point of being at the Arboretum, this place, that joint right there, looked like some sacred ground. But what it really is, they say this is where they housed or stored the slaves before they went to the capital and auctioned them off. So this place got a rich history. And it's like, why am I going back on this? But to be truly educated, you got to know where you come from, man. And, you know, some of us might come from Africa, but some of us indeed do come from this land right here, man. This land is indigenous to us. We are indigenous to this land, to all the land, because we was kings and queens. So, you know, kings and queens, we traveled. We went here, we went there, you know. So we showed people how to get to this land. And then they came and took advantage of us and put us mentally enslaved as well as physically. enslaved us, and lied, nothing but lies. So, you know, we're not all from Africa, and that's why it's somewhat of a disconnect. Then you got people from the Barbados and the West Indies. So we from all over, but guess what? We lived all over because we ruled all of this land, you know? And, you know, that's what that is. But, you know, this Arboretum is a nice place to come visit, very serene and quiet, you know. Looks like they got that sectioned off, so I don't know what they're doing, but I definitely want to do some more research, and hopefully we can fill us in with that research, because if you just look at this, man, look at all this open space, man. Just check it out, man. And we got to get out of here. But if you just look at all this open space, come on, man, what you thought was right here? It was like a plantation of some sort. This was like probably a big-ass plantation, right? And until you got somebody, till they could make that bread off you, they was going to still make money off you, because they probably had cotton and tobacco and all that here. And then, you know, and guess what? It's either going out or coming in through Georgetown, through the canal. And it's just that simple, man. But, you know, we're going to definitely do some more reading and do some more educating and learning ourselves. But I challenge everybody else out there to keep reading and keep educating yourself about your city, about your history. And, you know, don't resent change, you know, embrace it, okay? And I'm embracing it. You know, this is frightening times when you see things changing at the rate they're changing, especially when they were so stagnant, you know, growing up, and you just seeing the slums and what you think is the ghetto. And really, it was just because we were there. And, you know, that was the plan B, because this is the nation's capital, and they knew that the land would be very much so valuable. And projects were created so that it would be hidden in plain sight, the value of our land, because if you're being pacified with this free housing and free, you know, other things such as food, you're not working as hard. You don't even feel the need to own your land because you have everything you think you need, but you didn't get the knowledge. And so with that, that was the biggest trick played on us, and now we're still enslaved. And so I challenge everybody to keep that knowledge up there, pass it down to your loved ones, to the young ones, and keep this thing going, man. Stay tuned. You're watching DC Culture Under Leverage Transitions.
Yeah, this is the Jelly Vision for you.
This is my soul. Behold, as the story unfolds. So stormy the road, exposed to the weather and rain. Hard to tell the difference between pleasure and pain. I would be remiss if I didn't explain my views and how they change. Yeah, life's a game. Gotta know the rules and play. Make sure the inner you is who chooses the way. Hey, my God, life is so hard. You come so far to heal these scars. But we're marred by the sense of the past. Skating on ice that's thinner than glass. Slowing down the car just to look at the crash. Man is moving so fast, I got whiplash. Was a man who amassed his wealth, but can't understand himself without help. I'm a flawed individual, living in a nation indivisible, ran by an imbecile, in cahoots of criminals. So it behooves me to make moves like a general. At a minimum, I'm setting the stage, getting paid by the block, can't knock brigade. I got a lot to say, that's why I share my view. Gotta stay aware on these avenues. If I have to choose being the bearer of bad news versus a half-truth, I think it's fair that I use every single tool that was given to me while floating on the edge of the turbulent sea. I heard that the Fed's been charging a fee, so to make bread I gotta barter my chi. It's getting hard to release when these cowards unleash. They steal ours and they borrow for free. It gets deep. We can keep with the status quo, let them muck it up, see how bad it goes. I've lost all trust in this reality show. These are the days of our lives where the fallacies mold our perception, a weapon used for deception. Kids pop pills just to make it through the lesson and still not healed.